You have something special. You have greatness in you. I want you to like this page and share it. I got a message for you. It was something been on my mind. I want to share with you on this beautiful, beautiful day. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. I want you to think about the fact that this is the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter. And I want you to think about finishing strong and preparing for 2023. And and something that I'm encouraging you to do, and I want you to like this page and share it. I want you to ask yourself some questions, and just about three. One of them, where you are right now, is it what you anticipated when you started the year off? Is it alignment with your resolutions? Because if you follow what I'm going to share with you, if you are willing to give up who you've been, the negative people, the thoughts, and the choices that's produced what you now have, if it does not measure up to your level of expectation, and you know, as Einstein said, insanity is doing the same thing in the same way, expecting a different outcome. If you want to create a different outcome, you got to do some things differently. You got to change some relationships. You got to do what Celeste Johnson say, Operation Clean Slate. You got to get some people out of your life. You got to come out from among the people where you are. You know, people who earn 15, 20, 30, 40, 50,000, $100,000 a month don't hang out with people who earn $5,000 and $7,000 a month. No, you got to upgrade your relationships. One of the things when I began to understand the statement, come out from among them, I left Miami on a Greyhound bus. I had too many poor people in my life. Okay, family members and friends. I had to get out of there. Why? God said to Abraham, get up and go to a new land. Sometimes you've got to change where you are. A place, you got a place that is your place. Trust me on this. The things that I've accomplished, I would have never accomplished those things in Miami. I had to go to some other place. You have a divine place. And there are certain relationships you'll never, ever do anything with those people. Why? Because they're not the one. Where you are is your rightful place, where your thoughts, your thinking, and your choices have brought you. Where you can be is your true place. Come on, somebody. I'm coming. Just slow down. Just slow down. I'm coming. I'm coming. Yeah. I mean, think about it. It's this fourth quarter. And so you want to look at your life and say, wait a minute, what got me here? Because you don't want to get to the end of 2022 and say, oh my God, I didn't do all the things that I was capable of doing. No. Evaluate, because there are certain places, there are certain choices, there's certain behaviors, there's certain people that you just don't need to be a part of your life. Let me give you an example in my own life. Like, for instance, I got up this morning and I take the medication that they had placed me on. Notice I didn't say my medication. I'm not claiming it. The medication they put me on. My goal before the end of the year is to be off all medication. What major goal do you have before the end of the year so that you can look back and say that 2022 brought out the best in you? I'm not asking you to have 4 and 5 different things that you're focused on. I'm just saying to you and just requesting what major area of your life in mine. I'm focusing on my health, mine making cancer history, mine getting off all this medication. I've been able to get off my insulin. Why? Because I'm focused. I want you to put down focus. Focus on one thing that's important to you, one thing that will make a dramatic difference in your life, one thing that when you accomplish that, you can pat yourself on the shoulder and say, I've done good. Because at the end of the day, life is about choices. Choose ye this day whom ye shall serve. But most of us, and I'm using myself as an example, for a long time, I was just coasting toward an accelerated end. I, I, I just decided I'm going to be mindful. I don't want to take medication for the rest of my life. I don't want to be sticking myself for the rest of my life. Then what are you going to do about it? I dramatically began to focus and tune everything else out, saying my health is my wealth. That sounds nice, rhymes, nice. And I'm backing it up with action. I'm mindful of what I eat. I'm mindful of my state of mind. I'm mindful of my peace. What is it you're going to do? What differently? How you're going to show up? We're in the fourth quarter. And I want you to write this down. It's time to close chapters and turn the page. Come on, somebody. Yes, it's time. There's some chapters you need to close. They've gone beyond their expiration date. Some people come in your life for a season, some for a reason, and some for a lifetime. And when I made a list of the people that I communicate with, there's some calls I don't take anymore. Why? Because it's a gimme call. Yeah. That if you look at it, the majority of your calls are gimme calls. There's a limited number of people saying, hey, I got something for you. Just look at the ratio. Look at it. Evaluate it. There are people who are always there when they need you. Life ain't playing with us, and we don't need to be playing with life. Come on, I'm telling you, I'm not making this stuff up. Life is for laughing, loving, and living. It doesn't have to be all that complicated. I'm telling you, this is the time you don't want people who get on your last nerve and stress you out being around you or in your ear. Come out from among them. And don't try to change them. A person changed against their will is of the same opinion still, that they are okay just as they are. You have no right to weigh in on how they live their lives. I don't care if it's your children or your family members, friends. No, people got a choice. That's what God has given us all, a choice. And their choices, a friend of mine, Patricia Wingard out of Columbus, Ohio, the choices and consequences. Listen to me. Listen to the old rascal. Yes, I've been on the planet for 77 years. I know some stuff. Now, listen, I'm looking for some people. I'm looking for the few. This is not for everybody. I'm just looking for the few. You know what I decided to do? What did you decide to do? I'm going to build a culture of greatness. People who have goals and dreams, people who want to do something dramatically different with their lives, who want to finish the year strong, people who want to get a jump start on 2023, people who have things that they want to accomplish to improve their health, improve their relationships, get a game plan and a blueprint on how they can begin to bring out the greatness in them. If that's you, touch the link above. That's all. It's not for everybody. It's because, see, and here's something that we must learn to do, and it's not easy. Learn how to become an observer. I've learned how, and it took some time because they call me an empath. Most people, ladies and gentlemen, won't participate in their own rescue. I have a friend. I did some videos on people who've made dramatic changes in their lives, and who had lost a lot of weight, and they had instructions on how they did it. So I said this to a friend of mine, weigh over 400 pounds. You know, though she asked me, "Are you calling me fat?" I said, no. I didn't call you nothing. I just sent you some stuff that I thought maybe that you might be interested in. No, I did not call you fat. And I'm saying to myself, did this person ask me that question? This person who came to my house and sat in the chair, and the chair broke and said, oh, hell no. What? The chair broke. The chair said, what the hell's going on here? I'm sorry. You can't make this stuff up. Okay, you can't make Anyhow, anywho, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm having a hot flash. I call it my power surge. so, so if you like to have fun, if you want to learn how I earned my first million against all odds, you ever hear politicians talk about the middle class? They never talk about the 1%. They don't want you to become the 1%. I'm a part of the population who's earned over $1 million. That's just 1% of the population's done that. I've done that. You come into the community. If you give me 1 year with you, see, your network, and George Frazier said this best, your network determines your net worth. Did you hear what I just said? Your network determines your net worth. And when you're in a community with me, with like-minded people, people that are focused on their dreams and improving themselves, people who are tuning out the negative, toxic behavior and people that will compromise your power. We have energy. All of us, not energy. If you don't use it well, it will work against you. If you use it well, it will help you to take responsibility for your life and create the kind of life that you're proud of. I'm telling you what I know. And if that's you, come on, join me. Can we see the comments? You can put that down now. You see comments? Have them ask me some questions about something. So if you got a story and you want to be a part of the community, because we're going to share with you strategies and how to tell your story, how to monetize your story, how I got from zero to hero. I love these little things that rhyme. They are so cute. Whatever. If you want to learn techniques and strategies and how you can become more influential and impactful in your style of communication, if you want to learn how to talk to the world, I can teach you how to do that. I've been around the world, and all I had going for me was my story. And if you're ready to do something with your story, make a difference, push humanity forward, a story that can help people understand that where they are does not have to become their destiny. Push the link and join my community, the Les Brown Greatness Community. Yes, it's going to dramatically change your income, change the quality of your life. You're going to upgrade your relationships, and you're going to let some relationships go. Why? Life is like an elevator. The higher you go up, you have to stop and let some people off because they don't want what you want. They don't dream like you dream. I remember in Chicago, I used to give this lecture at Christ Universal Temple Church, and I saw this guy come, and his wife was seated on one side, and he was on the other. And I asked him, I said, man, I said, why aren't you over there with your wife? He said, well, she left me because she said, I don't want anything. I said, I'm sorry to hear that. Now, as I was approaching her, she said, I heard what he said. She said, I didn't leave him because he didn't want anything. I left him because he wasn't willing to do the things necessary to grow so we can create a different kind of life than what we had. He'd settled for where we are. And I know we can do better. He's smart, he's intelligent, but he doesn't have hunger. He doesn't have drive. He doesn't have perseverance. He doesn't want any more than what we now have. And I don't want to settle for that. I know we can do better than this. And I'm tired of arguing. Have you ever just got tired of arguing with someone that's supposed to be leading you and they're in the back doing nothing but the same thing over and over and over again? Have you ever looked at where you are and just said, this is not me? That's what I did in Miami, in Liberty City, Overtown. I just said, look, Good Bread Alley and Bucket the Blood, the expressway goes through that now. That's gone. I just said, there's got to be more. Have you, let me see some signs. Let me see some fire. Have you ever said there's got to be more? I remember cleaning homes and cleaning apartments on Miami Beach. And I just said, one day I'm going to be able to stay here, not just come over here to clean up. Woo! And I've stayed in several places, several condos, hotels, and whatsoever you can think of. See, life is about having the courage to make your life a daring adventure. Live before you die. Life ain't playing with us. Decide that you're going to take life on. Stormy, I like to refer to her as Dr. Stormy Wellington. She had an event this past weekend for women. Girl, hold my hand. And it was an eye opener. It was one that caused the women there to dream a bigger dream. Most people don't have any dreams at all. They're just working to survive. What it takes to live and what it is required for surviving are two different things. These are people who said, you know, I'm taking a chance on me. I don't know if I'm going to make it or not, but I'm going to walk by faith and not by sight. I'm reaching for the greater in me. Greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. I'm willing to upgrade my relationships. I'm willing to step away from the life that I've been living so that I can begin to create the life that I deserve. Have you ever seen people and you ask yourself the question, how can they live like that? Here's what I learned. When you stay in a toxic, negative environment over a long period of time, you have to ask yourself the question, what kind of person have I become because of this? Because that abnormal environment will become your new normal. You stay there long enough, you won't even realize at some point in your life you'd have found that repulsive. I had an apartment that I had near the airport, and I rented it from a friend of mine, Jackie Collier. And I said, girl, I can't stay here. Listen to these airplanes coming over constantly. She said, you stay here long enough, I guarantee you won't hear it. She did not lie. And people who would come visit me say, how can you stay here? And these airplanes flying constantly, don't you hear it? And I said, no. Because I'd been there so long, I had tuned it out. You can be in an abusive relationship so long that it becomes your new normal. You can be in a situation and an environment that's beneath you, and you be there so long that it becomes you. It's one thing to be in something, it's something else when that something gets in you. The only people that can hear me are the people who've said, in their heart of hearts, and where your heart is, there your treasures also, I can do better than this. If that's you, if you're on fire to go to another level, push the link on above. You just give me 1 year with your life, and I guarantee you, you'll never be the same again. No, I owe it to you. I owe it to you. I know, I don't know how much time I have left, but I know God did not have me to be born and preserved for such a time as this, just to go to my grave and take everything I've learned with me. He who has ear, let him hear, let her hear. I'm just speaking to the few. Did you hear me? I am speaking to the few. If that's you, push the link and join a brother up in here, What are some of the questions that you like to ask me? What's one of the questions?
Corinthia said, when did you realize your confidence to become a speaker?
It was an evolving process. I decided that anything that's worth doing, and I want you to make a note of this and write it down, is worth doing badly. Ed Foreman said that. Anything that's worth doing is worth doing badly. No one comes out of the gate doing anything great. It's a learning curve that's required. And after trying and failing again and again and again, and pretty soon I found my confidence. If you want to speak, speakers speak. And I spoke scared. I spoke scared. And then I was so nervous. I said, well, I need to speak to some people that can't see my nervousness. So I spoke to elementary kids in elementary school, kindergarten. And they didn't know enough to know whether or not I knew what I was talking about. And they told the teacher, can you bring that man back? Who's got that funny laugh? I'm really good with children. They love me. They do. And I grew from there. But I said, I'm going to speak. I'm going to speak. And I've spoken at people, they weren't listening and they did other things. And I didn't care. I just kept on talking and going back to my coach and continuing to sharpen the saw. You know, Abraham Lincoln said, if you got 6 hours to chop a tree down, he said, I'll spend 4 hours sharpening my axe. I continued to get the coaching I needed to improve my presentation skills and how I can use quotes and statistics and humor and energy and passion and the rhythm to speaking. I'm coachable. See, most people, they're where they are now because they don't know that they don't know, and they think they know, and they refuse to be coached. And Bob Proctor had a point that most people are where they are because of ignorance. They're not willing to face the reality that their best thinking has produced the life that they now have. If they could have made more money, they would have done it. If they could have had a greater impact, they would have done it. But ego, edging God out, ego, pride cometh before a fall, stop most people from learning, from being open. My high school theme at Booker T. Washington High School in Overtown in Miami. You never find out how much you know until you find out how little you know. This is the time you got to be a perpetual learner. A perpetual learner. Things have changed so dramatically and still changing. It has not stopped. It's not stopped. And I said, no, y'all ain't leaving me behind. No, I'm coming. And Sam and Dave would say, hold on, I'm coming. Let me tell you how that song was written. Isaac Hayes and Dave Prater, they wrote that song. And Dave had to go to the restroom. And Isaac would say, come on, man, come on. I'm in a creative mode right now. Hurry up. And he said, hold on, I'm coming. Several times. They said, that's the title. That's the title. Hold on, I'm coming. He was using the toilet. Let me tell you another. You know the song Midnight Train to Georgia? My former wife used to sing, and she still does. It was Midnight Plane to Houston, and they didn't like to fly. They said, look here. We don't like to fly. Do you mind? The guy's a country and western writer. Changing it to train? He said, no. And we don't live in Houston. We live in Atlanta. Do you mind changing it to Georgia? No. And the rest is history. Come on. You can't make this stuff up. I'm telling you what I know. Listen, life is just, Helen Keller said it best, life is short and unpredictable. Eat the dessert first. Put yourself in a community where you can grow, where you can learn, where you have relationships with people that have resources and contacts that you don't have, that you can learn from them. That's important right now. Come out from among people that are broke. Come out from among people that don't have anything and don't want anything. Come out from among people that are argumentative and always creating some kind of drama. You don't need that. No. Driving your blood pressure up. No. No, you deserve to be happy. You deserve to be peaceful. You deserve to have the best that life has to offer. Take responsibility for the kind of life that you want. If that's you, if you're ready for a major shift, see, disruptions require transformation. We are going through a major disruption, and you don't want to try and do it by yourself. You can't do all the thinking. You need to be in a community of people that's got your back. And I guarantee you, when you join our greatness community, the culture that we have now, this culture that we're in, is designed to destroy your sense of self, to deny you, to demonize you, and have you thinking small. You were designed for greatness. You're made in the likeness and image of God. It doesn't get any better than that. You've been given authority and dominion over everything. It doesn't get any better than that. But we've been programmed to fail constantly. Touch the link. Now see you in our community. You have something special. You have greatness in you. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Bye for now.